Among the Upanishads, the learned ones consider 9 as the principal ones. And among those 9, a special beatitude is held by Kathopanishad. It has got 2 chapters. Each chapter has got 3 sub-chapters. So thereby 6 sub-chapters and 2 main chapters. In total 119 verses, shlokas. The beauty of Kathopanishad is out of the context that it arises from. And another beauty is about the way, the manner, the dialogue transpires between the teacher and an insatiable, uncompromising, relentless seeker. The context arises by a very small young boy at a very tender age. Through some arrangement, he is given to the god of death, and he wants to seek the best out of the worst given to him. In general, when we confront any complexity, conflict, adversity, almost all inner equanimity is dissipated. The faculties of mind, they cease to function even to their reasonable limits. And we take wrong decisions. Not getting into this side much, let it be the ephemeral part of it. Here the young lad confronting the god of the death is given 3 boons, and that insatiable one is very smart enough at the tender age to seek entirety out of those 3 boons. And in the way he chooses each single boon shows the sagacity, the wisdom that prevailed upon him at that moment when he had to actually seek 3 boons. How he moves on, what is the spirit of each single boon, what relevance do they have to him and people around, and what is that boon for whom the god of death paid no compromise but to allure him at any cost. But the relentless, indomitable one did not settle. Firm, resolute, well discerned between to have this and not to have this. He fought. Fought means he stood, firmly stood, and was able to benefit about the esoteric understanding of the science of soul, consciousness. When I teach Upanishads, especially Kathopanishad, a slight mention must be made. Several verses from Upanishad have been borrowed and compiled in Bhagavad Gita as well. When I teach, and as I am given to understand, when my students understand this learning, something strange happens within. Something for which people never started to undergo such learning. Most of the people start by having a respect, an adoration, a revered emotion for their own ancient scriptures. चलो पढ़ लेते हैं. But when they start learning, start understanding, start associating, this knowledge silently morphs into their awareness. And they start experiencing something different. They have never done it ever in their life. They start experiencing that within themselves there is another larger exalted self. Within themselves there is another larger exalted self which has remained unnoticed so far in the life. And it itself, that is the larger exalted self, is the bedrock of existence, source of existence. Its seeking is different, its dimension is different, and they unknowingly transcend into the dimension of that larger exalted true self within their peripheral apparent self. Peripheral apparent self, one that transacts with the world outside and the world within the world within. But unraveling of this larger exalted self at the back end as the bedrock, at the basis of all ongoings, although behind a veil is the true source. A strange blessedness comes once you experience that exalted true self within yourself. You don't meditate for that. You don't perform any special sadhana for that. And for the first time you also realize that Gyan is also a yoga. What is yoga? Dhyana yoga, sannyas yoga, bhakti yoga, karma yoga, Gyan yoga. Yoga is enjoyment with the higher consciousness, the cosmic mind, someone that is beyond. That is yoga. And you realize that I just exercised my intellect to experience the knowledge given by the teacher. I just deployed my intellect to understand it, process it, absorb it, assimilate it. Nididhyasanam, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. I just did that. I merely deployed my intellect. My mind did not intervene much. And I am experiencing an exalted state within my own self, although I feel approximated to it, if not realized totally, I feel approximated. Something which I was absolutely oblivion of. And it has only helped from the moment I have started learning and understanding Kathopanishad. It was not the feeling that had ever dawned within me ever before. It is for the first time. So the knowledge can enable a seeker absorb and experience a state of blessedness, an exalted state, can approximate to the true effulgence within. That is the experience which you gather. You may remain entangled, engrossed, immersed into your ordinary worldly life, yes. But a small portion within your awareness occupies its own office, which now cannot be closed, cannot shut down. It's there now, grounded. Time and again, it will ask for its own seeking, its own gratification, its own accomplishment. And that office is that experience of that blessedness, an approximation to that exalted state within, exalted self within, which you were able to acquire during that learning of Kathopanishad. And that is the true takeaway for a lifetime. If you nurture it, if you nourish it, enrich it, give it more time, it will unravel, unleash more. Even if you don't, that is a takeaway not only for this life, shall equally travel along with you through your Panchakosha to the lives to come. People generally want to understand what is the deliverable, takeaway, what is the takeaway? This is the takeaway. And this is the takeaway about your true self, which will not perish, not dissipate, cannot be terminated. Like an eternal spark, it is going to stay within you forever. Come, 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 join me for the study of Kathopanishads. Thank you.